Hi investigators, Mike Evans from the Australian Security Academy with today's episode of our support program for those of you who are Australian Security Academy students studying government fraud control, government investigation and advanced diploma of government investigation in the management of investigations program. So if you're studying a diploma, you're studying a management qualification, and this is our 10-minute daily support program for those in lockdown in New South Wales, and we've joined you today from Queensland in lockdown for 3 days. So this is to help you get through the study in those programs and help you with the assessments. Today we're going to look at conduct an investigation. And I made the point yesterday, and it's really important, that gone are the days where we had the single go-to person in the department who we could rely on to give support and advice on an emerging trend in investigations. And I talked about old Bob and old Mary, and you'd go along and say to old Bob, what would you do in this situation? And he'd go, yeah, back in 1963, we had the SMECs. Single mums exaggerating calculated kids. And that's what Bob would say. And Mary would be in the background and she'd go, no, it was the SMECs, single mums incorporating numerous kids that were ripping us off back then. And there'd be a big argument over the SMECs and the SMECs between those two. It was quite entertaining. But today, you haven't got that. You've got to go and do the investigation yourself. You're the person responsible now. And your workplace wants you to be fully qualified in that role. So today we're looking at conduct an investigation, and people say to me, oh, I wasn't born a police officer. I've got no background as a detective. I'm not an investigator. How am I going to start? What platform am I going to build upon to get into this? It's going to take me years. Well, it's not. We have a 1-hour video that explains the 7 basic sources of investigation that you can watch in your own time. You can replay this program at any stage. So you can watch that video in your own time and learn about the 7 basic sources of investigation. They are universal, whether it's Germany, Canada, Great Britain, United States, New South Wales, the back of Burke. The 7 basic sources of information apply equally to every investigator. So let's have a look at our little support video of where you can find that in your Diploma of Fraud Control, Diploma of Government Investigation, or Advanced Diploma of Government Fraud Control study resources. Today we're looking at the unit Conduct an Investigation. Now, this is a great unit for laying the foundation of what you're going to do. A lot of people think you have to be James Bond or an ex-detective to conduct an investigation. Well, you don't. And today I'm going to show you where to go to find the 7 basic sources of evidence for any investigation that you'll ever undertake. And it's pretty basic, and it's all the same all around the world. And they use it for any type of investigation, and you can implement it in your work tomorrow. So we're looking at where you can get help for the 3 assessments in Conduct an Investigation in Fraud Control, Government Investigation and Advanced Diploma. In the Moodle menu, scroll down to the unit Conduct an Investigation. So each one of those qualifications has that unit on the Moodle list. Click on it. And once you click on that, go down to the end of topic 1. And at the end of topic 1, you'll see a link to a YouTube video URL, and it is quite a lengthy 60-minute video. But if you want to get your head around where you're going to get evidence from when you conduct any form of investigation, it's the video that will supply that for you. Now, it has examples that might not be relevant to your work, but they are relevant to investigations and can be applied in your work. Fraudsters want to keep a low profile. They rely on weakness, vulnerability, and slow response. Once their scam is negated, they move on to a softer target. You are the resistance in your workplace. You have evidence gathering options in that video. They will see that you are visibly monitoring what you're doing, and it's a countermeasure they don't like. When they know you're watching them and you can investigate what's going on and respond quickly, it becomes too high risk for them. So they have to move on to a softer target where they can get away with their scam and keep that low profile. And in your government fraud control, government investigation and advanced diploma work, you will do that 5 times each week. Five times a week, you're going to be successful because you watched that video, you did your assessments, you applied what you saw in the video and the rest of the resources in this substantially resourced unit. There is a heck of a lot of resources in there that you can use in your investigation work. In that Moodle unit, conduct an investigation. And if you apply what's in there, you'll probably be successful more than 5 times per week in your investigation work. So keep that in mind. When you become qualified in that unit and competent in it, it makes it hard for those who wish to commit fraud against your department. Fraudsters do not want to be exposed. As soon as they're exposed with their scam, they'll move on to the softer target. So they'll go down the road and try and rip off Veterans Affairs, or they'll go and try and rip off the education system. But because you're there, you're qualified, you're right onto what they're doing, and you hold that unit from yesterday and this one from today, you make it hard for them and you send them somewhere else. So that's great value for your employer, for your future career, and for the Commonwealth of Australia saving money as a result of your hard work in this study. So earlier in this video, I talked about the SMECs and I talked about the SMECs. So we had the SMECs and the SMECs. Everything that happens in government, there's an acronym for. It's really weird, isn't it? So I think there must be someone there that sits around, gets paid $75,000 a year plus superannuation to come up with acronyms. Tomorrow, we're going to look at KAPOOM. Have to be the best acronym you could possibly have. And in that video tomorrow, for a short 10 minutes, when we talk about our study support, you're going to find out, do government departments share information? See you tomorrow. I'm Mike Evans from the Australian Security Academy. Good work, investigators. Well done.